Welcome to Scrap Your Scraps, and this is Crafty Chris talking to you. Um, Tonight we are going to make a one-page layout using lots of buttons. There are very many variations on what you can do with buttons and ephemera and puffy stickers and all kinds of things. This will be one in a series of using up these kinds of materials in your scrap room. So as you can see, I have little containers that hold sticker buttons and all kinds of buttons, and I've organized them as closely as I can into the categories of the primary and secondary colors. I usually only go up to 6. In the case of turquoise and light green, I kind of separated those because they were larger groupings, and then I have a dark blue as well as a mid blue because all my blues were very too big to fit into one section. I also have sticker buttons that I have used. Okay, so that's my color case. I have a neutral case here with whites, blacks, grays, browns, beiges, off-whites, ivories, and some interesting little decorative sparkly ones in there, and things like that, which are really pretty. So I have those all in a second container. And then I have these interesting looking things, which I bought at, I don't know, I think it was a yard sale, and they're little buttons. I have to figure out how to pry them apart, but they have letters and numbers on them, and I have created, as you can see, that goes in the number section. There we go. I haven't organized any of the big piles. I've only organized the little piles. It's not a priority for me, but it does help when you have your letters organized so that you can make words with them. So I'm going to use that on my layout today as well. So if you have any of those kind of neat findings, they're great to add to layouts, button layouts, or using up your materials layouts. Okay, so prior to me being here with you today, I did a little organizing, and I did that so that it would be quick and easy for me to show you what to do. I have in my craft room a ring that I keep different large sized circles on, so I don't have to keep going to cutters and things. I don't have plate size cutters, so I actually took a plate and traced it and cut it out, and then so I've got a 10 1/4 inch plate. I have an 8 1/4 inch plate. I have a 6 1/2 inch plate. I have a 4 1/8 cup. I have a 3 1/4 cup, and I have a 2-inch circle punch. So I just gather these random sizes, punch a hole on them, and then that hangs in my craft room so I can just grab it when I need it for large matting purposes. So I did not use all the circles today. I used my largest, and then I skipped a size, and then I used my next size and my cup and my 2-inch. So we've got a 10 1/4 inch plate, 6 1/2 inch plate, 4 1/8 inch cup, and a 2-inch border cutter. And what I did was I placed this and centered it on my mat, and I simply took my pencil and drew around my plate. And then as I said, I skipped a size on my plate so I'd have a distance between my two sizes. And again, I just drew a circle around that. And then in this center line, I put my cup, because this is going to be a photograph, and circled that. And then here I circled a 2 on the second line and a 2 on the outer line. So let me hold it up so you can see it. And then of course I erased within the circle so I know to stop. So that's what I ended up with. A circle within a circle with circles on top. Alrighty. So the other thing I did prior to being in session with you today is I actually picked my my buttons and laid them out on the page in priority of primary and secondary colors. So I started with red, then I went to orange, then I went to yellow, then I went to light green, dark green, light blue, dark blue, purple, and pink. So those were the colors I had to work with, and so those are the ones that I chose. And I laid them out so that I could beforehand, before I started gluing them down, so I could make sure that everything fit properly. And what I ended up having to do was make some adjustments, take some bigger ones, switch them with smaller ones. If there was too much space, take some smaller ones and switch them with bigger ones if there was too much space. So now I took a picture of that, and this is the template that I'm going to work from. I always take photos of my work when I've laid it out. I don't I keep the photos like this so that I don't mess up or glue something in an inappropriate place. So the other thing that I need to do this is pop dots, and I pulled them out, and I think I buried them. Oh, here they are, over with my circles. So I've got some pop dots to stick the buttons down. Now, a couple of my buttons are actually the sticker buttons. They have adhesive on them, but I'm going to stick them with pop dots anyway. These are actually too small. I think I'm going to find my large button, my large pop dots. Oh, everything's too small. Okay, so bear with me for a moment. I'm just going to grab a medium-sized pop dot. And that way they'll stick on better, and I won't have to be replacing them. Oh, there we go. There we go. Found them in my craft bag. Alrighty. So medium-sized pop dot is what I use. I don't use a 3D dot because the buttons are already dimensional. So I'm going to start with this little section between my big circle and one of my smaller circles on the top. It has a word in it. So if you look at it, it says BFF. So I need to pull out my BFF, and I need to pull out the buttons that I have there, and they have to be the exact buttons, because if I don't have the exact buttons, it won't fit properly. And there's my BFF, goes in there, and then I have a navy. All right, so I am going to start to glue these down now, and for the most part I am adhering them in the center of the line, and it doesn't matter what direction your little eyelets go. They can be twisty-turny. I think that makes it more interesting. The other thing you could do, if you're interested in doing it, is tie little pieces of twine through so that it looks like a finished button, or you have like a small little bow on it, but I just want the plain button for today. All right. And I'm going to have that go in a different direction, centering it over, touching. Sticking another. And centering that button as best I can on that line. Now, I need to see if I can snap these or something. I don't know if they come apart. That's the problem. If they do, they don't come apart very easily. So I'm just going to pop the whole thing down. Probably need a special little tool because it looks like a specialized sort of thing. Just make sure the glue sticks on there. And I'm going to start with my B. And I want my letters to follow the line. So there's going to be, because they're square, there's going to be some spacing. So I want them to touch at the bottom corner and then follow the line. Actually feel like large dots. B, F, just making sure, yep, and F. And with any luck, B, F, F. Now I can play with those little, this should fit right in there. Oh, it doesn't. So this is what I mean by running into trouble. So I have to change the button. Or maybe that is the button. Nope, it's a 2-hole button. It's got to be that one. Okay, so I need to manipulate this a little bit. I mustn't have had it just make sure it's going on there. Sometimes you can shift things up a little bit if you run into trouble. All right, BFF. Yeah, alrighty. So I've managed to move that a little bit, not much. So I'm just going to turn this around and drag these up a bit more. There we go. And there we go. Okay, it's a little tight. Just make sure I push all that adhesive underneath. There we go. All right, there we are. Whew, that was close. And then down here in my picture, underneath the smaller circle, which is right there, don't know if you can see it, I'm going to start with my pink. So again, I'm just going to keep putting adhesive on here. And starting right at that line, halfway. And then I need a red. Nope, I need a pink. No, that's pink. Red and orange. So red. And orange. Orange. And then I need a yellow. This guy has a sticky on the back, which I'm going to take off because it makes it too puffy. And I'm just going to put a regular glue dot on there. And put that like that. Making sure they're all touching. Then we have green. And then we have dark green. So that's my light green. Moving into my dark green, which is this guy right here. And then I have my light blue. So my light blue goes here. And then I have the word fun. So I'm going to get my 3 letters for fun. And because I'm spelling it backwards, I'm going to start with the N. Try to make sure that I get that lined up. And then the U. Actually, make sure. Yep. And finally the F. There we go. Play with that a little, make sure that it's following that line. There we go. And then I have a dark blue button. Oops. And I'm going to place right there. And then I have a purple button. So you get the idea of how I'm laying this all out. So I am going to fast forward and bring this to the point of almost completion so that you don't have to wait and watch. Alrighty, so I'm back with the last 2 pieces, and hopefully this will all fit together. If not, we'll do some adjusting. There we go. And the final one is a sticker, but like I said, with these stickers it's probably best to have a little bit of a glue dot on the back to make sure that they don't pop off. Because you only have what you have in your stash, and it's probably unlikely I'll be able to match if I go to a store, so I don't want to lose it. Oh, perfect. Okay, so there is my finished buttons. Everything's stuck on there. I have LOL, BFF, and fun. This is going to be a layout for me and my good friends. So I am going to put a title on here, and I'm just going to have the title Friends sitting in this section here. Alrighty, and because it's, or maybe I'll have it sitting there. I don't know. This way? This way or this way? I think it fits in better that way. So we're sticking down the sticker title. And don't forget your dots for your eyes. Whoops. And I want to make sure that goes over the eye. Okay. Now just a reminder, we're going to have a photograph here, and we're going to have 2 photographs, one here and one down here. And on this sticker sheet, there's a couple of hearts I could add in. I think I need a little bit of bling. And do I want to put love this? No, that I don't want it to interfere with the actual flow of what's happening with the page. So I think I will just add a little bit to the bottom here. There we go. And maybe at the opposite corner, a slightly larger sticker. And maybe this goofy little happy face. There we go. Alrighty, and I think that I'm done. I don't really feel like I want to do anything else. I like it just the way it is. Okay, folks, so here we go. This is your finished layout. Remembering that there's a small 2-inch circle photo going in there. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3 photos. And that's it. And you've used up all those buttons. So that was fairly fast. I hope you enjoyed it. I will put another version of this out next week. I think I want to explore this a little bit. I probably won't use buttons for a little while. So let's see what I come up with. Stay tuned for next week's version of this. And we